Ladies and gentlemen, Conversations in Black and White with Don and Rexx.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Conversations in Black and White. My name is Rexx Garvin. I'm the black guy, and this is Don Tjernagel. He's the white guy. Don and I have been knowing each other for years. I met him in Las Vegas, 1999. A little bit about myself. I started doing stand-up comedy in the early 80s, along with RuPaul. Samuel L. Jackson used to come do open mic. I came up with Jeff Foxworthy, Tim Wilson, James Gregory, a lot of the southern white comics in the South in the early 80s. I was part of that real comedy before, when comedy was real comedy. You know, when you used to, just make people laugh from the gut, when it was real and when it was raw. Sam Kinison, that whole thing was when it was fun. I lost along the way, Chris Tucker, Steve Harvey, I know everybody. Along the way, I lost my funny. I didn't feel funny anymore because I was on another kind of search, and we all have gone through this. All of you know about when you have that personal transformation within yourself. There's nothing like when you think within yourself. When nobody, I don't care who you with, is when you have your personal thoughts. You begin to go through a wake-up call within yourself, and you start discovering other things about you. And that's what happened to me. I'm a nutcase. I'm not dealing with a full deck. I walk around butt naked eating chicken wings for no reason. But don't judge me. Through my travels of finding myself, whatever, traveling, I ended up in Las Vegas in 1999. Why did I end up in Vegas? I don't know. It's the place of illusion, but you're looking for entertainment. So being myself there, I travel, I meet, then I always go to the comedy rooms. And there was one guy that was always in the paper. His name was the stealth bomber of comedy, Don Tjernagel, Comedy Chaos. This guy. And man, let me tell you something. I met him at open mic night at this place where Suge Knight had that club before Tupac and them got shot. Yep. Right? And Don had a look on his face. Don looks like comedy. Don loves comedy. Look at him. He looked like a grown midget in heat. Look at him. But Don loves laugh. Don is out. And y'all know. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Some of you don't know, and get the tape, get the CD, get the DVD. He'll blow your mind in another way. This one is your first. If this is your first time seeing him, this is your first time seeing the brilliance of Don. Don is very unique. And I met him in Las Vegas, man, and he had that look of comedy monster written all over his face. This man walks, eats, breathes comedy, and he's born in this state. Y'all need to give him a hand. He's homegrown. Give him a hand, Don Tjernagel. Don and I have a unique wit with each other. When we talk on the phone, you should hear our conversations are off the chain. That's why I said we're going to bring it to the stage. So Don, let me start with question number one, if you will. Where are you from originally?
Waterloo, Iowa.
Waterloo, Iowa.
Well, born in Owine. Grew up in Fairbank, but pretty much Waterloo because nobody knows where Fairbank and Owine is.
Owine represents.
There we go. Okay. Owine, they know where it is. But Fairbank's a small town, so usually just say Waterloo. Families had a business in Waterloo for 90 years, so I always just say Waterloo. So,
Don, you being you, what made you coming from Iowa?
Iowa makes you Iowa. So Iowa's more open than you'd like to think.
In what way open?
They're curious about everything. Curious about other people's culture. If you come to Iowa and you're from somewhere else, they're like, what's it like there? They want to learn. It's an educated state. They're always on the edge of wanting to learn what it's like from someplace else, what somebody else is like. With that being said, that also can be a problem, too, for people from Iowa.
In what way?
Well, they're educated. Sometimes they think they know more than they actually do. They'll go to assumption many times. But Iowa is highly educated, so it opens up to many people. So.
I felt the open. I'm gonna tell you, I've been. I came here I've been here a couple of times to visit you, but I never really, went around. I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm not kissing up. You know how we roll. This is a beautiful state when it comes to energy and vibe. Everything you said about Iowans is very natural. And I live in Colorado. Colorado to me is like really effed up.
Yeah.
And when I came here. I felt really good here, man. It was a good vibe here. I just can't take the cold.
Well,
This winter y'all got is off the chain. I mean, you go to your car like, shit! Oh, it's cold.
He started to wrinkle. He looked like a California raisin I threw away.
But it's cold.
But saying that, you say you come to Iowa,
Yeah.
and I'll say it straight out. If you came here with your pants down to Jersey and you have a full disrespect as a black man, they would be so annoyed by you. But you come in a suit like, oh, good morning, my name's Rexx. You do that.
Ooh, what's
like
that?
a little tender, ooh, welcome, you beautiful people. But another thing about Iowa, you always, if you tell them they're good, they'll agree with you. Like you could go to a room with a bunch of Lutheran ladies and say, it's a beautiful state, I love you. Oh, I like that articulate black man. He's one of the good ones. So you're telling people what they want to hear, they're going to like you. So since you've been here, you're like, I love Iowa, except the cold. They're like, I like that black man. He's one of the good ones.
But I do though. I mean, it's straight up. I mean, because even when I turned on the radio, I heard black talk without it being hip hop.
Well,
I heard normal black people having that. You don't hear that in Colorado.
I didn't really hear it here. I don't know they're black.
Well, you don't listen to regular radio.
No.
I listen to what 881 and Water. I was like, boy, they got black talk.
I listened to 600 today. You're the only black guy I heard on there. Now, I got a question for you, Mr. Rexx.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just got to say this for all white people. Next time you black people have your meeting, when are you going to do something about Kanye West?
Y'all tired?
Because you want to solve race relations, that would hit the reset button really quick. We won't be mad about OJ anymore or anything if you could do something about Kanye.
Something with Kanye, huh?
Yeah. All right, what's your next question?
Okay. What's going on with the white male nowadays? My man said, oh.
The white male takes on a lot of shit. They really do, because they're told they're uncool, told they can't dance, told they have small dicks, told they're uncool all the way around, the music sucks, everything they do suck. You know what a white guy does every day? Gets up, goes to work, and pays taxes, and doesn't think about any of that stuff. Race never comes into a white man's mind throughout the day.
So we don't.
Never comes into. Yeah, they think about some sex, but that's why they're getting up and going to work every day. So a white guy's thinking, how can I buy shit so I can attract a girl so I can have sex? And he's not ever thinking of a black guy. Because white guys, this is a big stereotype. We do not care if you date white women. There are plenty of white women out there. There are plenty of women of all sorts. What does piss a white guy off is when he finds he's got a little jungle fever for some brown sugar, and he's got 10 black guys mad at him who are with his sister and aunt and all this other shit. Well, you need to stay away from her. I'm like, wait a minute, you're fucking Aunt Bonnie. Why are you mad at me? I'm cool. I can't taste the brown sugar Mick Jagger style. I mean, so that's where a white man is. There's a lot of shit that's put on a white guy, and they sit back and laugh it off. Like, yeah, we can't dance. Our dicks are supposedly small. They laugh that off, and then when they make one joke back, as a give and take, we can do it, but we make one joke back. I can't believe he said that. He's a racist, losing his job for one little innuendo or something. That pisses a white guy off, because he's like, hey, I've been a target for 5 years now. I make one little quick joke back, might be kind of clever. Most black guys would sit back and laugh at it, but usually where they get in trouble, some offended white person for the black guy. Because that's the thing.
For the black
I don't hate black people. I hate the stupid-ass white liberals that are offended for you that want Because usually there's one, well, he doesn't know enough to be offended, so I'm offended for him. Because I've done all black audiences before, and I've done the same stuff I'll do in front of any audience, and the white people will walk out.
Yeah, they get mad for
and
us.
they're mad for you. And they'll go back to the cul-de-sac where they live nowhere near any black person whatsoever. Nice little cul-de-sac with a bunch of wasps. Looks like a wasp nest just woken up, So that's what a white guy goes through mostly. Because a lot of the shit that they say, well, this is what he's thinking. I didn't think that. I'm just trying to get to Friday, payday, so I can take my girl out to Olive Garden and hopefully get a dick sucked. I mean, that's what a white guy thinks throughout the day. And if he's married, he's thinking, I got to pay the mortgage, I got to get that college fund, I got to get Junior into law school. That's what a white guy thinks. And they never get credit for that shit. Because a lot of stuff we don't have in our head. We don't have sexist thoughts. We don't have racist thoughts. It's not there. There's some guys that do, but not the majority of the white guy. You always want to base us down to one redneck sitting in a truck going, I don't have a job because of the Negro. That's not us. It's not an entire white race. So that's really what it comes down to.
So you're saying your victims are stereotypes too?
Oh, big time. Big time. And a lot of it's not even fair. Some of it's kind of funny, and it's okay to laugh it off. See, stereotypes, I think, are a great thing because it's something you can laugh about.
Right.
Actually brings it together. Like, if I couldn't joke with you, I'd hate you.
Right.
You piss me off. If you were slamming on me, calling me Big Stan, bitching about my forehead, and I couldn't come back at you and say you look like Uncle Ben on prom night, that would piss me off.
Don't like somebody cut his head with a biscuit.
Listen, wow.
It's like a wounded cat and just it's like a wounded cat in heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a bit harsh.
They're harsh. Hey, I was about to ask you this, but why? Do white guys feel they're not being heard?
It's not that a white guy isn't heard; he's not listened to. I mean, they hear it.
Yeah.
They mishear a lot of stuff. You can say two sentences of two different things and just break it down and use an example. They'll take it down to a context of 3 words and turn you into something that you're completely not. I mean, you could use an example. Like, a white guy could say the most perfect thing and they could turn it around. I mean, they put intent in a white guy's words all the time.
You said intent?
Intent. And we have none of that.
Just assume intent.
Yeah. I mean, you could say the word boy. What, are you racist? I mean, you'd be surprised at stuff that's just thrown on a white guy for no reason. And
Do you think it's because it's the flashback of history? And then that's put upon them?
no, because I think race relations are exploited. I think that's a lot of it. I think they need to keep us at odds. You know, you guys got that Al Sharpton with a bullhorn driving everybody up, like that, you know, the Ferguson thing and everything like that. I know as soon as you mention it, every black guy around winces and stuff, but hate to go there, but a lot of that isn't about race.
It's about the size?
It's about size, because if you and I were running, I make cops nervous because I'm 6'5", 275. I'm huge. I scare the hell out of a cop. So if you and I were running at a cop, they're going to shoot me because I'm huge. Those 2 guys were big. So they're coming at you. They're like, oh, Jesus Christ, this guy's going to kill me. I mean, you know, if an elephant was coming at a cop, they're going to shoot him. There's not going to be guys going, oh, trunks up. You know, they're not going to do that shit. They just shot him because he was gray. No, it's size. Those guys were huge. They scare the hell out of people. So I've had that. I mean, the same thing they're talking about. Well, the cops overreact on the road. When I was pulled over, cops are nervous as hell when they see a really large guy. They see you in a suit.
But don't you think it's a tinge of little racism when they're in the hood like that?
No, I think it's a part of the geography more than anything. So every day, if you're dealing with shit, you get a little tense. I mean, put it this way: if there was a suburb somewhere of all black people that went to work and their accounting jobs came home, hello, officer, they're not going to be shooting them or anything. There's not going to be anything like that. So you put an environment, you're like in a war zone in some of those places. And the cops are considered the enemy when they're the ones that are called to help. So a lot of that was size, and a lot of people don't want to talk about that, but they want to bait the race up. Like the George Zimmerman thing, why the hell they bring up that to white guys? The guy wasn't even white, he was a Mexican.
Right.
They should be pissed at Mexicans, but
right.
No, they let 1 million of them in every day and think it's great.
They don't have vaccines either.
Yeah, they don't have vaccines, so we got measles at Disneyland, and they're blaming this on white people and homeschooling their kids in northern Minnesota. It's like, no. Some guy wants to pick a strawberry in Southern California and take his kid on a Sunday to do a little It's a Small World ride. Meanwhile, some kid's got a rash on the back like they've been dragged around by a motorcycle. so that's the problem. They put that shit on white guys. I'm like, where's George Zimmerman? Like, he's a white guy. I'm like, no, he's not.
Yeah,
I thought he was Cuban.
Yep.
So I'm like, where are they getting this stuff? So there's
Oh, no, he was white Spanish.
White Spanish, okay.
You got to blame it on one part.
You know what? And I'm black Norwegian.
Yep, I can see that. Hey, let me ask you this. Are white men's feelings considered?
No, we don't need them to be, though.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Don't need them to be anymore.
Or you don't need them to be?
No, we don't really need them to be.
Oh, man. Hey, what's going on with the white male and his relationship with his lady? There she go.
There she go.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that breaks down in a race thing at all. Now, let me ask you that.
Yeah.
What about black women?
What about black women?
Because they always seem angry.
A lot of them.
Are they really angry, or is that just how they seem?
Well, let me tell you something very good. The reason why a lot of black women are miffed because they historically they utilize the flashback and bring it into the present. A lot of them have the right to be miffed because day to day they have a burden. They're taking care of the children. They're taking care of somebody else. They're really being We Are the World Woman, and they're not getting their love tool.
Okay, next question.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Don. What do black women and white men have in common?
They're both annoyed with black men.
Yeah. That's the answer. That was the answer.
Well, I mean,
that was the answer. That was the answer. There's no like.
I hate to say it that way.
There's no. No, that was it.
I mean, maybe that's why.
There was no multiple. No, that was it.
Well, maybe I'd had that was the only thing I could think of.
A lot of white guys curious. When I say do, you mentioned it earlier. Do a lot of white men want brown sugar now? Do they want a little bit of jungle?
My son does.
Really? Amen, sister. Well, it can happen.
I think
I can hook you up. I can hook you up.
Some white men are actually looking at other women because a lot of white women are really annoying anymore.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of. All right, every white guy I know from California has an Asian girlfriend or an Asian wife. Yeah, and I asked Wyatt. I asked why. I just kind of innocently asked, why do white men in California have Asian wives? And the guy said to me, he was a Marine, he goes, because white women are annoying. And I'm like, whoa. It kind of threw me off because he said the white women are sometimes very materialistic. And I don't know if you have that.
But the black girls have become that now.
Yeah, they get their nails done every other fucking day.
But it's too much. Well, it's too much reality television. It's too much. TV brainwashes. They don't have an identity no more. Their identity is watching cable.
Because really, I know more.
You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
But no, with that being said, I don't know much about black women. Only what I know from you, meeting your mother and everything. Right. The one thing I always knew about black women is don't touch their hair. That's one thing I always knew. But other than that, I didn't know much about black women.
I got my other thing is I say a lot of black women are waiting on their black king. And I'm telling the black women, why should they wait? Because your black king is over at Becky's house. It's over at that white woman's house. So you can keep on waiting on your ass though. So
well, and maybe their black king isn't black. Maybe their king's white or Hispanic.
Well, I'm gonna tell white men, and that goes for your son. I think it's time for you to start utilizing your options. Start dating the sisters.
Because look what happened when white women and black men.
Dr. King had a dream.
No, what I was saying though, before you went on your little Sammy Davis Jr. Thing. White women and black men getting together. I don't know why everybody thinks that's they freak out over it. Because what did that get the races? Got you an Oscar, got you the presidency. So maybe the races being together isn't that bad of a thing.
I got a question for you. Why do white people embrace this guy? Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? My name Money Mike, boy. You know what I'm saying? I coming down Division 15. You know what I'm saying? I be doing that thing. I be rolling that dub. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, I be like ice cream nuts. I'm like, damn. I be like, yo, chicken wing from this mother. I'm just, damn, bro. Yeah. Why do white culture embrace that guy?
Because it's funny. I mean, it's a minstrel show. It's hilarious.
Is it a Negro vaudeville?
I mean, if you came over to my house in blackface going, hooba dooba dooba, I'd be on the floor. My parents would be talking about that for 10 years. Why, when's your friend going to come over in blackface again? Yeah, the Lutheran Club would love that shit. So it is kind of funny. So you got to keep in mind, there's some Jewish producer laughing his ass off that's paying for that shit. And
you know what? I like to trip people out sometimes. And
you tripped that lady out big time.
No, you ain't seen nothing yet.
What are you doing now? What are you? Oh God.
That's our goal.
Y'all, last night I don't have me some biscuits and some chocolate chip cookies last night.
Listen.
And I have me a butter biscuit and some ham sandwiches. And I had some bacon, sauce, and pork and beans and rice.
Doesn't he look like a burnt turtle out of the shell?
Wow, that wasn't nice. Y'all laughing. I thought y'all were my friends. They're laughing at me. How you doing, girl?
Good.
I want some macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do a lot of white people just want to be left alone?
All of us want to be left alone. Why do you think we moved to the fucking suburbs? I mean, that's really what it is. We want to go to Applebee's on a Friday night and then just be left alone. We just want to have our steak, work all week, pay our taxes. Yes, we want to be left alone. We're not doing anything. There's so much shit put on us, and we're not doing anything. We don't have the hate in us like you guys think. A few of us do, but they're the minority. Not every one of us is a Ruby Ridge held up with 20 guns, afraid of the government. One guy remembers Ruby Ridge. History major.
Well, I say as black people and other races, we can't make fun of white people dancing anymore because now y'all can dance. I mean, remember back? No, not. Hey man, this ain't. Hey, this ain't the 2015 version of Footloose, motherfucker. White kids and black hood culture. Do you think that white kids are losing their culture in exchange for?
Well, they're told they're
in exchange for the hood culture. Do you think? So?
Okay, they flip through their dad's CDs.
In exchange.
They flip through their dad's CDs.
No more Rolling Stones. No more AC/DC.
Well, that's just it. They flip through their dad's records and they're told that's uncool.
Wow.
But here's
so. Let me ask you: do you think white men should grow the mullet back? Do you think they should grow the mullet? No. Don't bring them days back.
Only if they're playing hockey.
I was just asking. You know what I'm saying?
Only if they're playing hockey.
Yeah. The mullet. Remember the mullet?
But see, white kids.
The mullet back here. The mullet, and that curl, that Waffle House Dairy Queen curl.
But to answer your question. White kids just want to be cool.
Simple as that.
That's all it is. They just want to be part of what's cool. So if they're told their dad's uptight, the problem, uncool, your dad with no butt goes to doctors, goes off and sells insurance all day. The dad's made fun of. He's demeaned. The white dad's made fun of. And then they see the different culture. It's not a race thing at all. The kids just want to be part of something that's cool.
Counter.
Yeah, counterculture. They just want to be part of something cool. On the other side of it, though, black people got to stop just going to shit just because black people make it. Because at Tyler Perry, half that stuff is crap. But you guys just walk into it all the time. Half of it, yeah, probably 3/4 of it. Although he was good in Gone Girl. I have to give him credit for that. He was awesome as a lawyer. He was good at that. So I got to give Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry's not for you.
It doesn't matter. You guys have to be open to more shit.
It ain't our fault, man.
Well, I mean,
we don't control the establishment that brings us the shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Illuminati. What?
Yeah, Illuminati. But yeah, you guys will back stuff that's full on crap. What the hell are you doing? Walking Dead now?
No, every time a black person make a point, when they say something logical and it makes sense, we gotta do a little something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, sit down. He didn't score a touchdown.
I feel like a chocolate ice cream cup.
Look at you with your Sally Jesse Raphael glasses on.
Man,
where'd you get the red glasses?
Look at you with your family. Look at you with your Family Dollar suit. I man got two suits.
The only one that fit.
2 suits for $1.50. He was all happy and shit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh, 2 suits for me."
Took it out like Napoleon Dynamite off the mannequin. Oh, sweet, I want it.
Hey, let me ask you a
But
question.
no, back to the time. You got to answer this.
What's
though.
that, bro?
Okay, not every, because the problem is this last Oscar nomination, you and I talked. And everybody's mad because there wasn't enough African Americans nominated for Oscars. And you asked me, what do you think of that? I'm like, what did African Americans make that was any good this year? I mean, what is out there that...
Selma came too late, right?
Well, Selma's exploitive. I mean, I can...
So for you, that wasn't really no...
Yeah, it's about as exploitive as I apologize for this, Janice. It's about as exploitive as the 10th documentary this year about the Holocaust. I mean, you have to have 20,000 documentaries about the Holocaust, I mean, some days I'm happy the Holocaust happened just because Schindler's List is really awesome and I would have been deprived of that movie if it didn't. So, I'm just fucking around with you guys. I only did that because Janice is here and she loves that sort of thing.
Hey.
Ralph Fiennes was awesome in that movie, and we'd have been deprived of that.
You know
but
what?
she's got to get past, the race has got to get past to where it's not, a black man was nominated for the Oscar. It's got to be, Denzel was awesome in that movie, I hope he wins.
But
it's got to be that.
You mentioned something about the awards. Did anybody see the Grammys? Well, Sam Smith, he won 4 awards. And I'm going to tell you something. I think Sam Smith is a great guy. I'm sure that if you went to Country Buffet, he'll pay for the meal. You know, but I'm going to tell you something. I cannot take that damn song. Every time I hear that song, I like want to kill myself, man. I want to like jump out of the damn window. Because whenever I hear Sam Smith sing that song, it seems like somebody's putting lotion on his butt. Like, it looked like he's in a big castle in London, and it's real dark around 11:30, and there's a big hand on his white butt, and he's laying on his stomach wearing a pair of black socks, and somebody's spreading lotion on his butt tenderly. Stay with me. And then while Sam is laying on his stomach, he's looking over his shoulder with tragic delight. You know, stay with me. Like, putting lotion on his white butt. Tender, slowly. Sound like a young moose in heat.
All right, what's the next question?
Why are white girls getting lip and butt injections? From the Kim Kardashian concept. Why?
Well, what is Kim Kardashian? She's Armenian? Okay.
Yeah, but I said with the Kim Kardashian concept.
Okay.
I said because why are white girls doing the butts now all of a sudden?
Well, we're back to the culture because they're told that's hot.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but not just every white girl, but every girl wants to be pretty.
And I do have that on my card.
But every girl wants to be pretty.
And I was saying that young black girls are losing their mind the same way too, because they're trying to keep up with the white girls. And I was like, all that shit.
Well, and then but lip injections, that's the Angelina Jolie thing. Everybody said that was hot. Mm-hmm. Okay, a white woman just wants to be pretty. And that's every woman just wants to be pretty. Mm-hmm. So if they hear, that's hot, oh God, look at that butt, look at Iggy's butt, look at Jennifer Lopez's butt. They've heard that for 10 years since J-Lo.
Right.
But you know where that started? White men. That started with white men because in the old days, they used to pan cameras up so you didn't see J-Lo's big, glorious ass. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, white men started watching Selena. They're like, hey, who's the girl with the hot ass? You think that's hot? So finally, black women kind of started to feel sexy again because a lot of white men kind of like ass. Yeah. Benny Miles, my little horny friend there, he's all about the ass.
I'm an ass man.
Yeah, he's an ass man.
Are you?
So they started to realize... So they started to realize that the ass was marketable. So instead of, this was way after Sir Mix-a-Lot because it was kind of funny and comedy at that point, but he had a little truth to that comedy.
Well, I want to tell all the white girls, you don't have to get injections to get your butt big. Just eat you some soul food. Just have some government cheese, some pork and beans and rice. Okay, and you good. You know what I'm saying?
Already there. I'll throw one at you that's going to throw you completely off. Why do white men want sports cars?
To get women.
It's the same thing, same concept. When you get down to white men and white women, very much alike, acceptability. They just want, at the end of the week, somebody to say, hey, you look good. Or, hey, nice car. That's all white men are really after. Just a little bit of that little praise. Let them know that week of hell they had in the cubicle was worth it.
Right.
So that's a lot of it. But white women, all women, want to be attractive. So if they're told that's attractive, you know what? You guys could come out tomorrow and, I don't know, you could, the black culture could make Reins in the Neck National Geographic. But anyway, National Geographic with the reins and the fucking pancake titties, you guys could say that's hot in videos. Next thing you know, white women would be like, how do I flatten my boobs and get the they'll be going that one. They just want to be attractive. Then
it becomes beautiful.
Yeah, the lips, the butt, another 10 years.
Beautiful flaps. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Flapjack titties and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. If that's your little flappy titty, that's your little flappy titty.
But you haven't even touched.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's your titty.
You haven't even touched on the
Slapping
third.
all over the place, slapping upside the head.
You haven't even touched on
the third. Pull it back and make a knot up in that mother.
You haven't even touched on the third rail of his culture, though. Rexx, you haven't even touched on the third rail of his culture. You haven't even gotten to it. The gays, the homosexuals, they have an entire other touch on the culture.
He said, whole nother touch.
Whole nother touch. Whole other perspective.
If you got a gay person in the family, you better embrace them.
And white men
they got a crystal ball, Jack.
And white men
They
have
know
to deal with that
something.
too.
You know what I'm saying?
White men, black men, all men have to deal with that as well. So,
Police problem. Blacks, thugs, hip hop, racing cops. Hands up, I can't breathe. Black lives matter. What you think about that?
well, the hands up thing was proven to be false. So that's pissing white people off because you guys are doing Pharrell and all that. We're like, that's not true. So, I mean, I don't know. I think this country changed a lot when OJ happened. Because you know he's guilty. And you know he did it. And black guys are like, yeah, we got you. And we're like, whoa, 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 hold on. So, you know, the problem with white people is when you have something that's wrong, it's wrong. Somebody killed somebody, it's wrong. I mean, you don't want somebody to say, well, they raped 10 girls, but I don't know, he's black, he plays for the Hawkeyes, it's okay. You know, I mean, how is that okay? A crime is a crime. And see, white guys want to get to a point where everything's black and white in the law. You did a crime, it's against the law, that's wrong.
I think what happened to the OJ thing historically, I think it was a flashback of the past, that there was never justice for black people when those kind of things happened to them back in the day. So I think the payback was a racial vendetta.
Yeah, but if you want to go to the past, there's a lot of white families up in this part of the country that lost their family fortunes running the Underground Railroad, fighting the Civil War, doing all these things. So there's a lot of white people that put shit on the line. Yeah, to make things right. So they want it. Everybody wants to encapsulate every white guy as a plantation or like a character from Django Unchained, like he's Don Johnson, and that's not true. A lot of white guys went to task. My family has history in Pennsylvania in the Underground Railroad. Lost a lot of money. So I'd have been sitting pretty if that whole Civil War thing didn't happen right now. But they did the Underground Railroad, and I'm being called a racist because I do a joke with the N-word in it. So, you know, you see how that works out.
Right.
But, you know, like you said, you say justice for the past. When do you get a point where there's a reset button, it's even, we're ready to go?
Right.
You think a black president was going to heal the country, and a lot of white people out here went with that.
This is the state that put him
They
on.
caucused for him, and they were like, okay, yeah, we're going to sign on for that, you know. So, I mean, they basically voted for a guy with very little experience because he was black, because they wanted to heal the nation. They want to move past this. White people want to move past this because
But you know what? White people really love Africans. I ain't talking about American blacks. They love. I mean, you can find a white person.
Because they talk funny.
You
It's
can
hilarious.
you can find a white person in Utah and white man's world, and they got a bunch of Africans in their basement off the boat.
It's probably because the movie Coming to America.
I don't know how to use a microwave. Oh, let me show you. I don't know how to read, Miss White Lady. Oh, let me show you. I'm really stupid. Oh, let me show you.
Let me venture to say it's because Africans don't know the term cracker or get off me, whitey, and fuck you. Don't evict me, Jew. They probably don't know that nomenclature. Probably don't know how to say those words. So that's probably a lot of it. You gotta get past the race. See, you always ask me. We have a conversation at least weekly. He'll call me up. Dom, is this racist? And I tell him, no, it's just fucked. And you know, a lot of times you think things are racist. White men, that's one advantage we have. We don't see race. We deal with the same things. We don't get every job we apply for. We get told we're shit. We get told we're not educated enough. We're not experienced enough. We're not good enough. We're not smart enough. We're not ready. But you know what we think? Hell, I'll just move on to the next one. Black guys have a little bit of a handicap because like, man, that's bullshit. This is racist. It's like, no, maybe it isn't always.
Okay,
So-
let me ask you this. You used to love our fried chicken. Do you still do? No. Took all the secret herbs and spices and it ain't there no more.
Now there's an interesting question. You said our fried chicken.
Yeah, because white people love black people's fried chicken.
Where'd the fried chicken start?
What? Well, you tell me.
Google.
United States of America.
Oh.
So it's an American food. We got to get past this, too, because you're not a black guy. You're an American, so we're all in the same boat on this.
But you love.
We all love fried chicken. Every white guy loves fried chicken.
Don, our food is different. Okay, put it this way. When you want soul food, you come to my house. If I want some food with no seasoning, I go to your house. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a southern white person from North Carolina, Alabama.
I'm gonna tell you this. You
You already know, dog. You already know.
cabbage and green wings.
Now, I'm offended as a white man at that statement that our food is not flavorful. Now, here's the problem, though. You're just made a judgment based on race that our food is not flavorful.
No, your food.
Well, I'm Norwegian. We're fucked all around.
I wouldn't eat a piece of Don's steak to save my damn life. He ain't got nair flavor. Whenever he recommend me to a restaurant, I'd be like, F you.
Now, last time
Whenever he eat, I ain't going.
Now, last time I ate at your house,
he be eating cat food, Delight and shit.
last time I ate at your house, you asked me what I wanted to drink. I said orange soda. And you're like, how do you know I have orange soda? I'm like, you're black. Go to the kitchen, give me the orange soda. You go to the kitchen, you're like, God damn it, I do have orange soda. How did you know that?
Speaking of which,
I'm like, you come to my house, I have Mountain Dew in my fridge, even though I didn't buy it. You have orange soda in your fridge. That's just a law of the universe. So
understood.
I mean, you come over later tomorrow at the house we're going to have Valentine's Day together with the wife. We're going to take you to an Italian restaurant. They're going to have Mountain Dew for you. And I want you to drink that Mountain Dew and show some respect. Yeah.
That's for white people in Appalachia.
No, that's for every white people because it's fucking delicious.
Okay, why are white people taking over the cooking shows?
Because there's hot white women on the
Too
cooking
many white
shows.
people are cooking on TV now. Remember, you took away their job. Remember, blacks was in the kitchen. You took that away. And in Colorado, the wheat dispensaries, they took away the business from the brother in the street.
Be fair. The blacks didn't get kicked out of the kitchen by the whites. They got kicked out of the kitchen by the Mexicans that showed up on time.
No!
They did it cheaper. I mean, I'm getting my Olive Garden a lot quicker now.
I can't argue with you, man, on that.
Yeah. Rachel Ray and Guy Fieri are Italian.
Really?
Yeah. They're not exactly white.
Wow.
Which he hit on something because Italians are what blacks really want to be.
Get a crayon, color me impressed. You know what I'm saying?
They're actually they're in between.
Jesus.
All right, next question, my
Do you think a lot of white people over 60 want black people the way they were before hip hop and wants to be a team member of the Harlem Globetrotters? Yeah, I said it. I'm just asking the question. You know what I'm saying? Asking the question.
Black people over 60?
Asking the question. Just a question. Just a question.
You're talking about the generation that
Over 60.
went through the civil rights movement.
All that. I think a lot of white people, like especially maybe over 70.
Yeah.
I think they want that old Negro back. No.
Well, I'm gonna throw,
Yes, ma'am. You want me to help you to your car today? You want a piece of hamburger? They want to bring his ass back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll be honest. Sometimes
Because you ain't gonna find him no more. You ain't gonna find what's his name, Uncle Nelson. Good evening. Would you like some potato salad? And I got some pancakes for you and some fresh watermelon I made.
Now I'll be honest with you.
You don't see him no more. Cause now you know who you see? Hey, what's up, bitch?
Now, do you want me to be fully honest with you?
That's it.
Okay,
It's true. It's true.
It's true. I'll be honest with you. Rexx, I'll be completely honest with you on this. Completely honest. I don't care if people think I'm racist or what. Everybody over the age of 18 that's white wants to pull out a fire hose to Kanye West right now. So, I mean, let's be honest. There are some black guys that act like complete assholes and get away with it just because they're black. Let me throw something at you that's going to totally throw you off right now. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Do you know who did more for civil rights than any other president in history?
Abraham Lincoln?
Nope.
Who?
He was second. It's going to piss you off if I tell you this answer.
Tell me.
Richard Nixon.
Explain.
Did more for civil rights. Because all those things they talked about when Kennedy was running and became president, Nixon went through and did.
Johnson was a Southern prick.
Johnson was a Southern prick. But you know what? Your race goes in there and marks a box for the Democratic Party every single election without asking a question. But you know who's done more for you? The Republican Party has done more for the African American over the years. They freed the slaves, more in civil rights. Those guys in those fire hoses, you know, that governor that tried to keep that nice little black girl wanted to go to college, those were Democrats. So when they hate and they say the white Republicans trying to keep you down, we're the right Republicans.
Well, do you think it's televised brain?
Of course it is, because you're exploited. You're told who to vote for. You're told who to go. When they went down to Ferguson, they were trying to sign up Democratic voters. But really what happens when you break down the racial wall, then you and I sit here and talk and say, geez, man, the debt's $18 trillion? Then we don't say, oh, you're criticizing a black man who spends too much? I mean, your boy put rims on the fucking government, and
said
we got nothing to
rims.
show for it.
He said rims.
Yeah, we got spinning rims on the government. I know I'm taking this from a Republican stance, but I should be taking this from a libertarian stance because that's where the parties would really grow together. So you say white men over 60, you're talking about my father, who's a white Republican male who's hired a black person before but has never hired one again because they never apply because they're told they're a white office they won't hire, which is absolutely untrue.
So he stopped himself from even walking in.
Yeah, they don't even walk in.
Wow.
But do you know why they're done that? Because they're told they can't come in. So that's your culture doing that shit, and it's wrong because there's a lot of white people out there that are rooting for you because you're Americans. You're not just a black man. You're an American. Because if you do well, I do well. We all do well.
Well, I'm gonna go down to MLK Boulevard, tell all the black people.
No, don't go anywhere near MLK Boulevard in any Iowa town. There'll be a black guy going, "You an uppity nigga, get out of here." You hated out the Long Branch.
Hey, you know that show The Bachelor? How come they don't cast well, put it this way. Why do they cast black women on The Bachelor knowing that black woman ain't got a shot in hell to date a white man?
You know, it'd be hilarious if one black woman won and all of America watching ABC goes, no! You know, a lot of old white women that would piss them off. But you notice how they never cut the black woman in the first round?
I noticed.
If they ever put me on the Bachelor, I'd get the cameras in there and I'd fuck the shit out of the black woman as soon as I could. I would do her in the tent the first night. I'd be like, you get a rose right away because you got that hot black ass that all these white women went to a Jewish doctor to try to get. You got it for natural because Rexx says you eat soul food. Ooh. So, yeah, I would fuck the black girl right away. I would make a sham out of The Bachelor. But let's go even further. The Bachelor, they have at least one black woman on there, so they have like a little trap.
And she talks like this.
But you know what the problem is with The Bachelor? He's from Iowa now. He's from Iowa. My mother's friends with his mother and everything. Nice kid. But you know what? This is sad about The Bachelor. We're going beyond black and white culture right now. The sad thing about The Bachelor right now, if he wasn't on The Bachelor, all these girls, these high-end girls would be like, oh, get away. You smell like manure. You're from Iowa. It's fucking cold. They would have no interest in him. But as long as ABC anointed him, this is a hot guy all you women want to fuck because The Bachelor is not about winning that guy's love. It's beating the other 24 skanks that have a fame-hungry whore fetish. That's what The Bachelor really is. They line these women up like a slave auction for a guy who doesn't know he's gay yet. That's really what this is. And then he has this thing at the end like, oh, I don't want to get married. This is a promise ring. No, you motherfucker. We got sponsors. We signed up. We're watching that shit because you're going to pick a girl you're going to marry. We want to see you fuck her in the woods like Joe Millionaire. We want that shit. That's why we tune in. And I don't care about the one black girl. I would be happy to pick the one black girl because I would like them to see that howdy-doody smile when he comes down to their fucking house and they're like, oh, who you with? I'm with this is my boyfriend. He's in The Bachelor. I'm going to win that show on ABC. Oh, yeah. Oh, didn't your daddy evict me? Ooh, you know, they're going to do that shit. That would be awesome television, and some Jew producer needs to figure that out and get the guy from Iowa to pick the color because I'd love to watch a guy from Iowa really eat a black girl's pussy the way it's meant to be eaten because you guys never do that shit.
We know you eat pork chop around here, bro.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
right.
is a family show.
No, the homeschool skirt left. We're okay now.
I wanted to send this to Focus of the Family in Colorado Springs.
No. As soon as they see your
That's the military.
Get big.
as soon as they see your black face in that white suit, they're gonna think it's a Holy Man Eddie Murphy sequel.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Why did white people enjoy The Help, The Butler, and 12 Years a Slave?
They were good movies.
Not for us, it wasn't. That shit was horrible.
Because
Let me tell you, when I saw The Help, the worst thing for me was to watch The Help around a bunch of white people.
Okay, let me throw
sick.
something at you real quick.
Ooh,
Okay,
what is that? That's a shit pie.
Listen,
Ooh, no, that shit.
name those three movies again, real quick.
The Help, The Butler, and 12 Years a Slave.
Okay, let me redo these. Tyler Perry presents The Help. Tyler Perry presents The Butler. Tyler Perry presents 12 Years a Slave. Does it sound better now?
You're like the Django?
Everybody liked the Django. It's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
That was good.
Now that's another
Like
thing.
an old school Clint Eastwood Western.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? That shows
That
you
Tooth
about.
did it for me. The Tooth.
Ah!
That was spaghetti western.
But you know what?
The
You want
music
to know something about white people? White people cheer for the black guy because he's the protagonist. White people go beyond race sometimes, and you guys want to bring us back to race. Oh yeah, Django, that was awesome when he killed him in the end and he like won his girl. Did you notice he was black? Mm-hmm. He killed the white people. You guys do that shit, and that pisses us off because we've made that bridge to see beyond race and color and all that, and that pisses us off when you want to draw it back and make it a division again. So when you get beyond the division of between race, you get beyond the division, then we start to grow as a people, and we can start talking about other things like 18 trillion in debt, high taxes, why our kids aren't education.
Last and not least, is there any hope?
Well, you're here, I'm here.
Oh,
What do you say? That is there any hope?
is there any hope for us as a people? I got the answer.
Here's the main problem. So here's the deal. Is there hope? You say there's hope. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to throw this back at you. It depends on you because white people are reaching out like crazy. They want to get beyond this. They want to move on. Black people have got to start seeing this country as theirs as well. This is America. They're Americans. They've got to start seeing it that way. Got to start embracing it. They've got to quit looking at the one white guy that's a problem and see the 9 white guys that are the solution. They got to quit seeing the one white girl that's a problem, see the 9 white women that are part of the help.
Well, here's my take. There's definitely hope because the new children that are coming up now don't have the same flashbacks as the people before. So whatever they're taught in the household, when they step outside on the sidewalk and go within themselves and deal with themselves in a personal situation, they begin to see things very differently. Like going into the service, going to school, whenever they leave the house, they have another experience in the lunchroom. So there is, you believe the most racist people have the nicest children because they don't want to be their parents or their grandparents.
You know what?
So there's hope.
I'll throw one more at you. You want to know how you solve this? Economics. Simply and straight. Mm-hmm. Black people have something to work for, something to achieve for, and really, I know a lot of black people hate the Republican. I'm a big Republican. My grandfather, delegate for Reagan. My father, big Republican.
Well, look at us. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are so different, but look how we get along. But this is how we roll. This is us all the time. And what's so deep is so unique, but this is how we are. And we want to share that because I believe in this day and this time, we need another kind of healing. Because if you look outside this building, we're going through a lot of shit out here on this planet. I mean, this ISIS, measles, and all these new diseases.
It's below out there right now.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. The Arctic air is going to hit your ass till later on tonight. I mean, it's a lot of stuff outside the building. So what we try to do is bring another kind of conversation. Through another kind of conversation, you get healing out of that.
But
you get a unique kind of understanding.
But the economics,
yeah,
I've seen this firsthand. If you have the economics in order, if everybody makes money, they make better decisions because they have something to lose. They start to empathize with the working. They have ownership in their country. You pay taxes, you realize, hey, that's part of what I'm paying for. I care about that. I want to take care of that. Everything. I mean, I hate to quote Reagan because for some reason black people hate Reagan. I have no freaking clue why. Because you guys did a hell of AIDS. You guys did a hell of a lot better during the 80s than you're doing now. Your culture right now is being killed by the Curtin administration, economic policies, black unemployment's higher than it's ever been. Yeah. Reagan did better for you. He says, a rising tide rises all ships. And when you do better, I do better. My father taught me that. My grandfather taught me that. Everybody in the town. We have a business, an insurance agency in Waterloo, Iowa that never redlined. Redline, yep, that's right. We never redlined. My father taught me, he goes, you do not redline. He has the highest percentage of black insureds in the city. A white man from central Iowa, a Lutheran, a heterosexual white American Republican. What the news says is a racist is the problem, not paying enough taxes. Meanwhile, he didn't redline. When other officers says, oh, we won't ride on the east side, he says, nope, somebody comes in, needs homeowners insurance, we give them the rate, we give them the best coverage possible, have them sign there. You give everybody who comes in a rate, a policy, who wants it.
Yeah.
So that is the problem. What he would say is if his town does better, everyone does better. He saw past all that. Right. And he's not given credit. He's the silent majority. My father has never been a racist man. You know when he played at Iowa State basketball back in the day? They had black players that came up and played at Iowa State. And he would ask, he goes, "You're from Florida. Why didn't you play at Florida? You're a good player." And they would laugh at my father. They'd be like, "You don't know? Florida wouldn't have black players." But Dad's like, "Well, that's not good. You're a good player. You should be playing there. There, you could shoot the ball." My dad saw past all that. He's like, "This guy can play ball."
Yep.
So he saw past all that. He took a black man home to his mother, who was his best friend. The guy became an All-American and was an NBA basketball player. Went back years ago, where Fred Hoiberg put his hand on his head, anointed the whole crowd, and saved their souls. But he he saw that guy. That guy changed his name. He became Muslim because he married some Muslim girl. His name was Azid Abdul whatever, some shit. But anyway, Abzib. And my dad says, "Your name's Don Smith. I'm going to call you Smitty, and I don't care what Muslim crap you're doing now." He laughed his ass off.
'Cause he understood.
Loved my father. So my father saw completely past that, but he's the white, heterosexual American male that this country hates because he's a businessman and they say he's not paying enough taxes, but he's paid him for years and he continues to pay him, and he is the solution and he is the hope.
But he's demonized.
He's demonized, but that is the hope because that is a guy over 60 who got it way back, saw completely past it.
Well, Don, and that's why you're you, because you're the continuation of your dad, so you're part of the hope.
Well, and you know what? When I met you in Vegas, you were talking, I didn't see anything black. I saw a guy like, hey, this dude likes Mickey Mouse and cops jokes. That's how we got to be friends.
like
Me
Jimmy
doing
Stewart
Goofy in prison, getting butt fucked. That's what he liked.
Jimmy Stewart jokes.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart jokes. This dude loves that shit. You were my boy because you liked that. We started drinking at Starbucks, starting talking shit with each other. He's been one of my best friends for years, and now he met Benny Miles, one of my other good boys. He met my Jewish friend,
Cheers.
Greg Timmerman, Josh Bash, the entire crowd. Came out for an experimental show, black and white.
This is great.
Yeah.
You like this?
Oh, they're just happy to see you in a
Really?
white suit. And I hate to draw the gay culture into this, but you're not supposed to wear white pants until after Labor Day, so I hope they don't get pissed at you later. We're going to close with an impression. Here's my impression of Rexx. Holla, oh.
Do Jimmy Stewart. He's Jimmy Stewart.
No Jimmy Stewart tonight. Here's my buddy, Rexx Garvin.
Ah!
Hey, don't leave yet. I'm going to need your help on something. Y'all going to stick around?
Stick around. Let's
You
do
have
the
to
hors
go.
d'oeuvres. We're going to have drinks.